Quick one. Let me ask you this. What is the most powerful financial move? Many of us, our answer would include something to do with crypto, something to do with investing, or even in stocks. And trust me, that is what I used to believe before reading this chapter as well. After reading this chapter has made a massive mindset shift for myself. Because Morgan in this chapter says that one of the most powerful financial move is saving. And this chapter reminds us that saving is not just about the discipline of it or the budgeting of it. It is also about the freedom, the flexibility, and the power it gives you. The chapter I will be talking in this video about is Save Money from the book called The Psychology of Money by Mr. Morgan Housel. And this chapter does not just talk about budgeting, but it talks about something deeper. Because saving is not about the guilt, it is about the freedom. And that is what this chapter has made me realize. My understandings from this chapter are saving is the foundation of financial success. It is not crypto, it is not investment, it is not property. The ability to save comes from humility and independence. You don't need a reason to save. Having money saved gives you flexibility. People with most control of their life have one thing in common. That is cash in hand. Many people fail in financial success not because of bad investment, but because of not saving. Now with that, let's take a deeper jump into my notes from this chapter. The lesson number 1, which I took from this chapter, is that saving is the secret weapon. Morgan opens up this chapter with a very powerful and a clear idea. He says, building wealth has little to do with your income or investments returns and lots to do with your saving rate. This is a very simple idea that has been given to us by Mr. Morgan. He here tries to explain that no matter how much you earn, that doesn't matter. It is that how much you can keep from that income as a saving. See, you could be a 6-figure earning employee, but you could have nothing in your saving. On the contrary, another person who is not a 6-figure earner, but he saves money, that will give him financial security. The only difference between these two people are one person has practiced the art of restraint and the other hasn't yet. Once you understand this, you get a very clear idea of what Mr. Morgan is trying to express at the very start of this chapter. Mr. Morgan is trying to tell you to practice the art of restraint. And with that, it brings me to the next key lesson from this chapter, which is save without a goal. This really has shifted my mindset because I used to be a person who never used to save. And even though when I did save, it was to get or achieve a goal. But Mr. Morgan says something that really shifts me. He says, you don't need a specific reason to save. Saving without a spending goal gives you options and flexibility and the ability to wait and survive. See, the world we live in is unexpected. We don't know when the next corona is gonna come. We don't know when the next market crash is gonna happen. We don't know when the next tsunami is gonna come because it is unexpected. And if you have saving, it will give you a chance to breathe out if any of those casualties you're hit with. So start saving money without even a purpose. And with that, it brings me to the next key takeaway from this chapter, which is saving gives control. You want power, you want control, you want to make your own choices, you want to own your own peace. But the real question is, could you do this if your job is stopped or the job doesn't exist? Would you be able to do that? And here Mr. Morgan says, the value of wealth is relatively to what you need. Saving is the hedge against life inevitable. To surprise the hell out of you. See, when you have money saved up, you at least have more control over the unexpected situation that you're hit with. And if you have saved up money, it will give you mental peace and you will not panic as quickly as possible. Or it could be that you can choose to work at a job you like, or you can quit the job that you hate. Or it could be that when you're hunt for a new job, you don't say yes to the first job that is given to you out of desperation. That is why saving gives you power. It gives you flexibility. But it is quiet, it is calm, and it is unshakable. And with that, it brings me to the next key takeaway from this chapter, which is independence, humility equals saving. The wildest part of this chapter is saving is not about wealth. It is about the mindset. And Mr. Morgan says, saving is a hedge against inevitable ability of life to surprise the hell out of you. Now that I have understood this mindset, I have started to save money consistently. And I started doing this to practice the art of restraint. And while I'm practicing this, I also need to practice humility and independence and ignore what everybody else is saying. Most people who are smart in saving are usually the people who do not chase appearances. And with that, it brings me to the final takeaway from this chapter, which is save for the space, not for the stuff. And trust me, when Mr. Morgan says this, you don't need to be a financial genius to win. You just need room to breathe, and saving gives you that room. I personally never saved a single penny that I earned. Now that I have read this chapter and understood what Mr. Morgan is trying to say, it has shifted my mindset to rethink about saving. And what I have taken from this chapter are some great insights. Firstly, save money not for just things that it can buy. Secondly, save money for the peace it will give you in the future. Thirdly, save because it gives you options at times. Save so your future self can take risks and choose to take a breathe or get back control. And with that, it brings me to the end of this important lesson. The reason I call this an important lesson because this lesson teaches us that wealth is not created just by investing. It is built by the subtle and understanding of the importance of savings. I will be seeing you in the next video where I'll be talking about the next chapter from this gem of a book. Let me know in the comments if you were ever in a trap of spending money and never saved a single penny. It is good to spend money, but it is wise to save money and create your security net so you can give your future self some time to take a risk